Hey there, hi there, Geminis, and welcome to your soulmate reading. So, I'm going to be doing a past, present, future reading for you and your soulmate. So, they're going to be together. So, basically, the past, okay, um, let's see what the past has in store for you. So, the past is going to be about the past influences on the situation, reflecting on the events, lessons, or conditions that have led up to the present moment. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and shuffle these cards, and we're going to dive into taking a look here at your past. Okay, just make sure I got everything for you here. Okay, so let's take a look here at your past. All right, Gemini. Okay, so for your past, I have the Six of Good Cheer. So you see this couple, young couple, boy and girl, holding hands, running toward this house, and then you see a man standing outside the house. Um, and he has like no coat on, and he's just standing there watching the kids go toward the house. So this definitely could be you remembering your past experiences of like when you were a boy, um running, with a girl to a house here. Maybe you were going to her house, maybe you're going to your house. I think the girl being more centered on the path, it looks like she's taking you to her house. And I feel like you could be this grown man that's like watching and observing that. And then the cups on the wall here are interesting because I'm not really sure what they're representing other than like feelings and emotions, which is like the obvious thing. But I want to know more about like what's not so obvious about this. Are you still with this girl? Did you guys grow up together and like now live in this house together and you're just like, outside? Maybe he's like outside, like smoking a cigarette or something. I don't know. But he's having like a memory or a flashback, I feel like. So let's take a look at the Six of Good Cheer, or better known as like Six of Cups here. Let's take a look at the Six of Cups. So, yes, the Six of Cups embodies the warmth of cherished memories and the comfort of nostalgia. It highlights the innocence and joy of childhood, encouraging a connection to the past and the happiness found in reminiscence and familiar bonds. Okay, so you definitely are remembering maybe, like you and this person were together since you were children, and now you're grown up and you're just taking a walk outside and you're like, oh my gosh, I remember the days when I was just a boy running toward this house. And then when reversed, the Six of Cup warms against being anchored by the past. It suggests the need for forgiveness and moving forward, emphasizing the importance of embracing independence and their journey towards new beginnings away from familiar comforts. So, seeing yourself now as an adult looking back, it is time, like you can think of this as like a forgiveness card if you're not like, maybe you're not with that person anymore. Maybe this is just a memory from your past. But I don't know. I feel like you are still there in that moment. It's just you're older now. So I do think you are with this person, and I think that they are your soulmate. Um, and maybe you have known them since childhood. This could be like very spot on, very specific, like no metaphors needed. Now, card number two, this is the present situation. This card reflects your current state, challenges, and the essence of the question or situation at hand. Okay. Oh, we have the Two of Candles. So we have a woman here writing out her Christmas cards. I love it. Okay. So very like positive, cheerful energy, not really sensing anything negative with you. Um, so that's always a good start, Gemini, right? So the Two of Candles really represents in the traditional tarot deck. Its candles are wands. So 2 of Wands. And this is the foresight, okay? This is embodying foresight and the early stages of planning. It suggests a phase of progress where decisions pave the way for discovery and adventure. This card often signals the start of a journey or the expansions of horizons. Okay, so you are looking at a journey you went on in your past with your soulmate, and now you're reflecting on that, and or you were reflecting on it, and now you're planning a journey with your soulmate is what I'm getting. Okay, now reverse, the 2 of Wands reflects hesitation and the fear of the unknown. It indicates a misalignment with personal goals and a tendency to avoid change, highlighting a need for inner clarity and better planning. So this woman, she's got all her Christmas cards there. She's ready. She's planning. She's getting it all done, right? Okay. So I don't think you're really worried about planning. I think you are in that planning stage. And I think that these are the early stages, but you're still ready and you're still paving the way for adventure and discovery together. At least you are, Gemini. Okay. So all positive energies there. Now we have the future, okay, and we have card number 3, and this indicates potential future outcomes, okay. So, yeah, okay, based on the trajectory set by the past and the present cards, it offers insight into the direction things are heading and possible results, okay. Um, so how does this all tie together, right? So let's take a look at card number 3. And we have the Wheel of the Year. Wow. That is beautiful. It's like a full circle, a whole beautiful year complete, Gemini. This is beautiful energy. This is amazing energy here. The Wheel of the Year is essentially like the Wheel of Fortune. And on here it has midwinter. It has symbolic. That's like spring. And then it has Samhain, which is Halloween. Okay, so you've gone through Halloween, you're going through Christmas currently, right? And you're going to be going into spring with your soulmate. Okay, so I feel like these mark these like special occasions for you and your person. Like Halloween is a huge thing for you and your soulmate. You love to dress up, you love to go out, you love to do trick-or-treating, candy, a party, whatever it is. You connect over this celebration, okay, together. And midwinter, of course, we have Christmas or the Yule time, right, which is the winter solstice, coldest day of the year, like, and that was yesterday. So yeah, so you're this wintry, snowy, like, energy is really like keeping you guys maybe like at home, like cuddled up, roasting marshmallows by the open fire, like having hot cocoa or watching a movie together, just decorating your home, preparing food together, or wrapping gifts together, writing Christmas cards together. Like, these are things that you and your person are probably like have already done or you are doing in the last final moments of December here. But it's also a timeless energy too, because you have the springtime and that brings about newness, like you're reborn already. You've gone through the rebirth and now you're like that, you've gone through the transformations and now you're like born and ready, to meet the new world, the new year. And the weather is shifting and it's becoming warmer. So that is definitely symbolizing a lot to do with your relationship and how you see your person, how you bring out their fun side and their creative energies, and you do the same, and they do the same for you. Like, it's a whole big beautiful year of a full cycle complete, a full year complete. So looking at this, the Wheel of the Year, okay, it's a major arcana, and it's like good fortune. Okay, so the Wheel of Fortune, or the Wheel of the Year, right? This represents the cyclical nature of life, symbolizing destiny and inevitable change. It signifies good luck, karma, and pivotal turning points. This card reflects life's ups and downs, highlighting the unpredictability of fate. Now, if you're worried about something, you might be picking up on some reversed energies. And the Wheel of Fortune indicates a phase of bad luck and lack of control. Okay, it suggests resistance to change, the struggle to break negative cycles. This card warns of a challenging period where external forces dominate. Okay, so I don't want you to feel like external forces dominate your relationship with your person, because that, like, if you think your relationship is just hell bent on and having bad luck all the time, or bad karma all the time, you got to break that negative cycle or that negative mindset, because it doesn't seem like there's anything here indicating that you yourself, Gemini, are dealing with anything like too negative. You might be worried, of course, about the little things here and there, but overall I feel like you're having like a positive outlook on your soulmate connection this holiday season. Okay, so let's take a look now at your person's past energy. Okay, and what they might be going through. Nine of good cheer. Okay, so nine of good cheer. I don't see anything too negative happening here. Okay, I mean there is a six of good cheer, nine of good cheer. Okay, so a lot of good cheer. There. This looks like people have already like eaten, already had their wine. The table, they already did their streamers and their party favors. So now the table is like empty seats or whatever. But I feel like this woman could have been the woman that like hosted the party, right? And now she's sitting down and just like taking a break for herself, taking a moment to reflect on the events that have just happened. So it's definitely a past energy with this past type of card here. So nine of good cheer. So let's take a look at that. Cups always embody this emotional time. So the Nine of Cups heralds a period of achieving heartfelt desires, signifying deep satisfaction, emotional fulfillment, and the importance of savoring life's luxuries with gratitude, embodying a true sense of contentment and well-being. Now, reversed, it suggests a void and inner happiness, overshowered by materialism or indulgence. It points to dissatisfaction and the need to seek joy beyond possessions, urging a re-evaluation of what truly constitutes personal fulfillment. Okay, so obviously this isn't a card where you're like, you know, uh, like I feel like this is a card where you're like not really sure, maybe, or your person wasn't really sure about maybe how to enjoy life's luxuries with gratitude, embodying your true sense of contentment and well-being. Okay, that could have happened if that's something you're picking up on. Okay, Gemini, but honestly, I feel like they're really feeling emotional fulfillment right now, because I feel like you are remembering the past, or like maybe you guys weren't officially like young, like you weren't kids when you met, but maybe you are still young at heart. Maybe you are this like joyful, playful energy where you still like, dressing up, and you still like creating those memories of like kind of playing together, sort of, playing at life together. But you also, of course, there's like responsibilities and obligations, but I feel like your enjoyment and their enjoyment are very like synchronized. Like you're both enjoying this time of year together and this connection together. I'm not really picking up on a ton of like negative stuff. Okay. Yes, there are going to be people who don't find that they have personal fulfillment, but that is something, Gemini, I don't really think you and your soulmate are really too concerned about or worried about, because it's not really your joy or happiness that I see is lacking here. In fact, I see a lot of joy and happiness in this reading, a lot of good fortune, a lot of good karma. So let's take a look at the present energies. Okay, so we have the Nine of Candles. So maybe your soulmate is worried about someone. Look, there's a man here, like lots of bags, Christmas bags, lots of shopping. One of them has torn open and the candles have fallen out. He's not having too good of a day. He's kind of having a little bit of an off day. Shopping here, probably like a bit overwhelmed. I love how the cheer and the cheer are together in this reading for you and your soulmate. You're both very cheerful, or you have been very cheerful in your past, and I feel like that's brought you presently here. You're busy with this like writing cards and celebrating Christmas and getting ready for Christmas, and then you have this nine of candles, so it's like your cheer and your cheer are lining up. Your candles and your candles are here, so that's interesting that you're both getting candles, you're both getting cheer. So let's take a look at this nine of candles. Okay, let's see. Okay, so the nine of candles or wands embodies the spirit of resilience and perseverance. It represents a test of faith, urging courage and persistence in the face of adversity. This card signals a moment to stand firm despite challenges and weariness. Reverse, the nine of wands indicates feelings of being overwhelmed and on the edge. It suggests exhaustion and fatigue, pointing to a nap. Need to tap. Okay, maybe I need a nap. Pointing to a need to tap into inner resources without succumbing to defensivenesses or a lack of motivation. Okay. So this guy, he definitely looks like fatigued. Okay. The one bag tore and all the candles falling out, which that's not good. It's snowing, it's raining, whatever. Like, he's not having too good of a day. Okay, so this is definitely, maybe if your person is having a weary day, if they are overwhelmed, maybe it's a good time to sort of spread a little bit more of that cheer energy, that positive good karma energy that you're picking up on, Gemini, and let your person know that you're there for them. Okay, now let's see what the future has in store. A page of good cheer. See, your soulmate is going to turn it around. They're going to feel good again. They just need a cup of good cheer. Okay, this woman's taking a cup of punch here. Okay, so the page of good cheer. Yeah, pouring more into yourself, fulfilling your emotional needs is definitely going to be something that brings about good karma. It brings about good positive energies. Okay, so let's take a look here at that page of good cheer. um it's just a signal, like your soulmate might not be able to put it into words, but you can definitely put it into words for them, Gemini, and let them know, like, I see you're over tired, you're overworked, you need a cup of good cheer, you need a page of good cheer here, right? You can bring that to them, right? So the page of cups heralds a wave of creative and emotional opportunities, embodying curiosity and the joy of discovery. It signals intuitive insights and pleasant surprises, opening the heart to new love and the mind to imaginative possibilities. When reversed, this card suggests emotional naivety and the facing of insecurities or disappointments. It highlights potential creative blocks or the need to mature in handling new ideas and emotional expressions. Okay, so that could be, if your person needs you to sort of like encourage them, Gemini, to like, be a little bit more creative, be a little bit more open to fulfilling your emotional needs, because sometimes we can be in these environments where, especially Christmas time, where we're like worried about everyone else's needs, and we stop to realize like we need to focus on what is going on with us and try to nurture that a little bit more, and not focus or worry so much about what everyone else is doing or how everyone else is doing, because I think that's what's really going to bring you into this like joyful, spirited mood. Okay, Gemini. And that's also going to be what your partner picks up on too. If they see you feeding into yourself and taking a break from all the running around and shopping for presents, then they're going to see that. And that's going to be a reflection into them as well. And they're going to be able to like, okay, I'm going to take a break too, So it's really nice. So, yeah, I mean, I think that if you start with good cheer and you're ending with good cheer, you're ending things on a positive note. I feel like you both have, um, things to do. You've got Christmas cards to write. Your person has some shopping to do. Maybe you've already done this, and I feel like you are now, or you're going to do it, and then afterward, you're going to take a nice, good long break, have a drink, really look back on past reflection of all the beautiful memories that you've shared together, and have a wonderful, happy new year together, and move into that new year in a beautiful, amazing way. All right. So, altogether, Gemini, I think this is a beautiful conclusion to your reading. I think you are onward and upward. I think you're moving forward. You're taking the right necessary steps to, you know, have this new year, beautiful and amazing with your soulmate. And I think you're going to have a great time. I'll give you one last card, the Hierophant. Okay. And there's Santa Claus for you. And this just really ties it all into, like, it's going to be this. The Hierophant is really like this, supposed to be like this spiritual energy, this spiritual presence that you don't find is restricting or controlling, and it just lets you feel happy and excited and hopeful. And yes, there can be structure and routines and discipline and all those important things to be successful in life, but I think more importantly, Gemini, you notice these things, and you know when it's time to work and it's time to do all that, and also when it's time to take a break and relax. And the rewards you get from Santa Claus, or your person gives to you, or you give to your person, are definitely highly deserved here. And I feel like that's kind of tying it all together there. And the Hierophant represents established institutions and traditions. It symbolizes the importance of societal norms, conformity, and religious beliefs. All has to do with Christmas, depending how you celebrate it. This card signifies social approval, trust, wisdom, forgiveness, and the bond within communities. And you and your person are a community of two, so, and then you build off of that. And, if you're picking up on any kind of reversed energy, that would indicate a shift towards personal beliefs and freedom. And I feel like you and your person are, having your own way of celebrating, okay? Breaking from convention, embracing unorthodox paths. This card warns of potential hypocrisy, blind faith, and misconceptions, highlighting the fragility of unconventional choices, okay? So I don't think you are dealing with any, like, hypocrisy per se. I think you and your soulmate know what you're doing. I think you guys are a really strong connection and bond here. I think if anything, it might be like family or friends or other people outside of your relationship that might, have their own, things happening, again, expressing that stress of, like, feeling like you need to, like, buy everything and get everything and do everything. But really, it just comes down to your traditions with your soulmate and celebrating that special time of year with them. All right. And their traditions as well, both of your traditions, and how you combine them into your unique relationship. All right. So that's my reading for you, beautiful Geminis. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. Love and light always. Take care now. Bye.